Okay, welcome everyone. Hi, Adam.
Hello.
All
I
right.
think we have chat. Do we have chat for this active for this thing?
We have a raise hand option,
Oh,
and we've got let's see here.
I see Q&A. I see
We,
Q&A as an option.
yes, yes. Okay. And we've got, let's see here. Hold on.
No chat for you.
No chat for me. Why is that?
No, I don't think we
Who
have the
put me in
chat
charge
thing.
of this thing?
I don't know. That's all
No,
good.
I don't have a chat.
This is good. You know why? Because then now, but nobody can interrupt us.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Just how we like it.
But you see a chat on your end?
No, honestly,
Okay. Okay.
no
You're just
chats.
messing with me.
We are recording. I know what the question is from everybody. They're like, "Are you recording this?"
Yes, yes, we will be
Yes.
recording. You do have the ability to raise your hand and we'll be able to ask questions. You'll have the option then to, I think, unmute and ask a question, or you could type it in.
Yeah, I prefer the type in thing because then you can actually put a cogent thought behind it. We could really use our time well. So for
Yeah,
those of you that are going to be super askers, please just use the Q&A thing. We'll get to it. We'll try to
perfect.
get to it midstream, but we're going to
I've
go
got the
into like
queue. I've got the
what-
queue. I know you're going to be the one entering all of the things, so I've got the Q&A open so I can see any questions. If someone wants to drop a Q&A in just to make sure I can see it and everything is working properly, I will feed you any Q&A questions along the way.
okay, fantastic. It is
All
working.
right.
There you
It's
go. I saw
working.
that instantly.
Perfect.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Very cool. Awesome. All right, great. So there's a lot of people here registered for this, and I know that a lot of people also had trouble getting here on time. So if you are watching the recording, we're going to pretend like you're watching it live.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Well, great. Well, let's dive in.
Absolutely. Okay. So that many of you, obviously, hopefully you got inspired by Libby's idea to do it together. So we're going to actually build an asset map together, but we're going to do so much more than just build it, right? Because I want you to see when we thought about this, the key that we found is that the people that are having the most success with this process are literally doing it and building it together with the clients as well, Libby. They're not just doing it behind the scenes and then all of a sudden presenting this awesome map. They're actually building it together. And if something kind of funny happens, if you were a kid, I'm assuming all of us were a kid at one point or have children, you don't show up with this Lego project pre-built and then say, "Hey, let's play with your Legos." Like, no, let's build it together. So the real premise of this is to show how financial planning and advice delivery can be interactive, can be participatory. And so we're going to pretend literally like I'm an advisor and Libby is my honored client prospect so that you can see literally how we do this in the field and you can play along. So hopefully by this point, you've all been provided. This is something unique that Libby had this idea to do is give you all logins to asset maps. So you can actually do this now, tonight, later, and then you can play with play with this, right, Libby? I mean, that's the vision.
Yeah, really what it was born out of is I found like even with our group coaching folks and our alumni community, there's something different than like, hey, I'm going to record a 2-hour CEO session with
Mm,
exercises and worksheets and you go do it, right? Like we all have the best of intentions. There's something about especially when it comes to tech. Like I can remember this with my own tech and my own practice, realizing I was using everything at minimum viable product. Like I was learning just in time what's the bare minimum to do the thing the second that I needed it. And it wasn't until I actually like created containers for myself. And a lot of the time that required a live seminar or workshop or something like that that just forced me to show up at a set time and just do the dang thing and get really good
mhm.
at it. Once we got really good at that, then we started really being able to utilize a software in the way that it was meant to be used, which isn't just scratching the surface. So sort of what
Mm,
the concept for me was instead of a DIY, which is what we're all doing, is we're doing asynchronous planning and learning. Can we create
sure.
this container that just kind of is a forcing mechanism to get people in, try it out and see how they like it?
Absolutely. All right. So we're going to try it out. This is an experiment, right? We're going to do this.
Perfect.
I thought that a lot of advisors have been asking me recently, how did you introduce Asset Map for the first time? I think that's going to be important. So if everybody would, I would really recommend, I know you're going to try to follow along and do this at the same time, but I really encourage you because you're going to have our recording. You won't have what's it called? A note taker, unless you have a note taker, you figured that out. you're really going to want to take notes in this session because we're both going to go into mode that helped us build seven-figure practices. And you're going to hear that the nuance is actually not in the software. It's going to be in the conversation. It's going to be in the trust building opportunities. It's going to be in the questions and how we frame the questions. And of course, how Libby's going to answer the questions. That's going to indicate where my opportunity to serve really exists. So, despite the fact that you all might think, okay, well, here I am building a map as a financial planning engagement tool. Yes, that's true. But we're building it to have the meal, not to have the protein. Okay. So, the key here is that I hope you got that analogy. I just made that up. I don't know where that came from. But we want to serve an experience, not just a just a piece of meat, right? And I think that unless you're vegan, you can have something whatever you want. But the point is that we're going to attempt to create this experience. So I want you to feel like you're at the table with us, right? You're literally a co-advisor, a trusted partner, maybe even you're part of Libby's family. How would you have experienced this? Try to find ways to make it your own, but to demystify the fact that we're literally going to build this in less than an hour. We're going to do full bore 80% financial planning in literally less than the time that I'm still talking. Okay. So that's our vision. Think we can do it?
I think so. And Kenneth asked if we can open our sample asset map during this session. Yeah, you can open it and do it
Whenever you
along.
want.
I can be your client too, and you can go ahead and create the asset map for me and my mystery husband.
Yeah, yeah. Try to follow along if you could do it. Right. I fear that some of you will not pay attention and then you're going to be like focusing on where's the button? Where's the button? But just watch what we're doing on screen, listen with your ears, take notes for what's relevant. And then, of course, when you get the access to the replay, you can replay it to a section. There's like a phrase that you heard, like, oh, that was the opener. Do that. So I'm going to share with you, Libby, how I typically would open and have taught now thousands of advisors how to open kind of any introduction to this process, right? Okay, because we can't just jump right into it. This is not like a inspection. Usually, you meet with a doctor; they're going to give you some kind of talk, conversation, shake your hand, get to know you before they start saying, "Okay, get undressed." That's a really important aspect of financial planning. We all know there's like an interrogation component to fact finding that some people just they're like, that's a little bit irky. So let me kind of start. We all know that we tend to, Libby, get into this frame where we have rapport building, just like we just did for the first 5 minutes as we waited for everybody to get here. And we talk about what? We talk about the family, maybe we talk about the kids, the weather, where you vacation, right? We do all that stuff. And we do that whether we're doing it for who? For our existing clients as well as our prospects. We're getting to know the human that's in front of us. Do we like this person? Do we trust them? Do we like their voice? Right? Same kinds of things, right? So typically, what I would tend to do is start this way, and I'm going to share my screen so everybody can follow along. I found that there's really two important things in any introduction before we get into fact finding that a lot of people miss. Let me know when you can see my screen. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. Libby, first of all, thank you for coming here. I'm sorry Dwayne couldn't make it, by the way, to this meeting. I know that we're meeting virtually. It's a great opportunity to share with you. It was also fun to hear about your kids and some of the things that are important to you. I wanted to share two things that I find us really important when we start a new engagement to figure out how you and I should continue the conversation beyond today. And the first thing is to understand that when we got into this business of financial advice, we felt very passionate about how we were going to deliver advice. And so there's two things I know that I need to share with you. One is the people that are part of our organization that I've surrounded myself that serve our clients, and the process that we use that helps us get to an intelligent conversation going forward that becomes the framework of our relationship going forward. Does that make sense?
Sure does.
I'm going to catch you off guard too. Just make sure you're paying attention. Okay. So when we originally invested in our business, my business partners, and I'm still on this board, even though I gave up my practice in 19, there's still a lot of clients that still expect me to be on this screen. One of the things that we were really mindful of is building a team of people that thought like a family. We organized our firm in a very kind of family aspect. In fact, one of the biggest values we have at our organization is to make sure we are a family first, even for all of our employees and all the people that are working in our company. Anything going on in your family, we support you. You do that first. It's a big aspect of our organization. I hope that's important to you. And what that means is that we needed to organize the firm that had redundancies. That means for every family we manage, we have two people in every single meeting. Doesn't matter. They have to be two experts in every meeting, a financial planner and an investment advisor, a financial planner and an insurance professional, a financial advisor and an attorney every time, so that you have somebody who understands your story and you can pick up the phone and call. If anybody's not here, we built a redundant platform. We've also invested heavily into multi-generations. We have somebody representing 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, so that we have built a longevity cycle that can support your journey for the next 30, 40, 50 years, not just the next 7 years, which is the average turnover for an advisor. That makes sense? We've built services and support around this, but I want to encourage you that, Libby, it's all about the people that you'll be working with over the next 20, 30, 40 years. And we're setting ourselves up to be mindful and thoughtful about that.
Love it.
Okay.
Love
Now,
it.
that's, by the way, just as an aside, we did that specifically because we wanted to frame that the most important thing we ever talk about is what? It's the people. It's the people first. And showing that intentionality of what we value, what we care about, and how we've organized ourselves is important for building trust and confidence that, okay, these guys are not schnooks. Okay, they've been thoughtful. I know I'm not just getting Adam, I'm getting his team. And if they deliver what he says, that seems like a very comforting place to be. Okay. Any commentary from you, Miss Libby, as
And
a
so, and I
super
also I
advisor?
also love that you're taking all of the onus off of you and creating a team
Yeah,
structure so you're not the only person, the bottleneck of the business that can answer all the questions and be all things
absolutely.
to all people.
I don't know if anybody heard it, but the first thing I said was, we're going to go through our people and process, to figure out how we're going to continue the conversation. I've allowed myself an out. If I don't think it's the right fit, guess who wants to be able to say I want out also? Me. Because if it's not the right kind of client, or I don't mesh on personality, or they've got an attitude, or it just doesn't work, or it's not the right economic value decision, I need to be able to say with grace, I don't think it's the right fit for us, and be able to segment them to, let's say, a junior or not at all, or bring in the full A team. And I'm giving myself the flexibility to get out. Follow? Super important today, because for those of us that are intentional about our practices and our time, what should we be doing? We should be setting the stage. Okay. So I just talked about people. Now let me go back into state. Okay. The second thing that we found throughout time is working with high net worth families like yourself, is that some of the biggest challenges that we've had, Libby, especially when we're dealing with complex families and second marriages and new and kids from multiple families and entities and businesses and trusts, things you're familiar with, because that's my demographic, by the way. Okay. I'm setting it up that you fit perfectly in my demographic. The problem we've dealt with is that almost all the families are not appreciating complexity. They expect us to deal with the complexity in the back end and give them clarity. And so some of the biggest challenges your peers are dealing with, frankly, is they've overwhelmed with all of the financial stuff they've collected over time and invested in, and they start to get paralyzed. So they need an advocate who's going to help them interpret what's going on and how to make better decisions. Would you agree with that?
Of course.
Yes. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I might ask you some opinions of what we think about this, so that I'm not the only one talking, but for purposes of this webinar, I'm going to keep moving because I know Libby has lots of opinions about that.
So many
Okay.
things.
So as a result, we've invested in a process called Asset Map for all of our clients. Let me show you an example of someone like you. And then I show a sample that is specifically demographically appropriate to Libby. Okay. I happen to know some things about Libby. I'm going to show her this household. Now, the names have been changed, but let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about. I'm going to go into marker mode. This is Ben and Betsy Ross. They're in their early 60s. They've got a couple kids, Tommy and Sarah. We meet with them annually. They're also in the sandwich generation. They're taking care of Millie, which is basically Betsy's mom. Her husband had recently passed away and left a trust for her, which was confusing. The father also owned a business and had several business partners for which there are financial obligations to the old business partners through buy sells and so forth. There are trustees of their trusts. They have existing things they've done with prior attorneys and advisors. One of their kids is special needs. They also own a company and a warehouse holding company. So there's a lot going on for this family. And what we needed to do for them is we needed to help organize this around them, because this is a customer centric. We think of our clients' income sources, both current and expected. For example, Ben over here is an engineer at this AI company, versus Betsy. She owns a company and she's the co-president. She's an entrepreneur. Okay, just like you, actually. Isn't that funny? They've accumulated a bunch of assets that we need to pay attention to and monitor and make sure we're doing the right things, including retirement assets, things you're probably familiar with, like IRAs and 401ks. You might see stock options because he has a lot of wealth built up in the stock. They've bought annuities over the years. He has some play money. He's bought some life insurance. Nobody explained it to him. But ultimately, they collect a lot of stuff. If you look over at Betsy's side, she's got a 401k, some money that she inherited. She's just letting sitting in CDs. She's got a huge business that she's got a 40% interest in. It's a big part of their net worth. They've done 529 plannings, which I know you've been told about in the past. They've got real estate holdings and so forth. And you can see they also have some joint assets and liabilities. Make sense? And lastly, the fourth piece of their finance is their insurance policy. So we've cataloged the insurances that they've been sold over the years, and some of which make sense, some are owned in trust. But the key is for us to have a visual inventory of what's going on so that every time you and I get together, Libby, or at least with I get together with my clients, of which you're about to become clients, we will go through this process and we'll review, make sure that you and I are on the same page. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is great.
Fantastic. Okay. The other thing that's going to be important for us to do over time, and I do with my clients, is that we also make sure that it's not just about what you and your partner are doing, but also occasionally we're going to talk about the kids. And we're going to talk about what's going on with your mother-in-law and what strategies we need to think about to bring those to the table, because there's a lot of tax opportunity when you're thinking multi-generational. And you would want me to bring those ideas that I have to your table so we can get ahead of some of the challenges that typically families deal with. In addition, we're probably going to want to talk about some of your businesses and maybe even the trusts and how does that work? And they're going to have to re-educate all the time as to how they serve you and why they exist. And of course, manage them. Well, a lot of families just don't know how to manage their roles here. Okay. So we're going to look at that every year. What I want to compel you into understanding is that the key to this, you can be as involved in this as much as you want to or not. And we're gonna look at three things today that we would tend to look at. Number one is, what are your priorities and are we clear about what your financial priorities are? We're going to keep them here and we're going to negotiate them every year. So whether that's tax management or retirement planning or taking care of your families or states, whatever those are, I want to make sure that as an advisor, they're top of mind for me as much as they are intelligent for you and you guys agree with them. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of if plannings. That means, can we handle financial calamities? So we make sure that the airbags and the tire pressure match. And then we're also going to have the ability to track and continuously keep track of, are we on track to major goals? Now that's effectively what we do for our clients pretty much every year. There's a bunch of other things we do. Do you have any questions based upon that?
No, sounds great.
Okay. So I've already taken the liberty of actually, and for those of you that don't know what I'm doing here, there's a couple of nuances because this is a do it together. So this is the aside section, Libby, is I'm doing a couple things. Number one, I went into full screen mode, which I really recommend people do, especially if they're screen sharing, because then it gets rid of all this other clutter and stuff on the screen. So that's the first empathy thing I mentioned. I'm also zoomed in at 125% on my browser so that I know that all of you can read this. I see too many times advisors come into the table and they're like, okay, let me see. All right, I'm showing you your asset map. Okay, you can see here. Yeah, right. Like, and people are like, I don't know what you're talking about. Remember, our clients generally are older, right? You have to be empathetic here. So I actually run my laptop at 125%, even though it's way too big for me here. Like that, yeah, I know that that's legible for almost every single person. So that's an important aspect. You might also notice that I'm using this marker tool like, as if I'm drawing on the screen, and I am. That's embedded in Asset Map on every single browser and device. So I'm basically shortcutting this little marker here, and instead of having to choose this every time and say hello, I don't want to do that, right? I want to just go right quickly to it. I'm hitting the Control M key. I actually use the Control. There's two ways to do it. That's a tilde, right? Do you guys remember that? The tilde. So hit Control tilde, and it'll turn that marker on and off. And that's how I do that because people don't know where to look. If I started saying life insurance, you're thinking, I don't know what he's talking about. Your life insurance here. Does everybody understand where I'm looking now? Everybody understands. Okay. So I think that's super important. And no other tools do this, which is crazy to me. So if I'm going to tell you to look at something, I want to tell you exactly where to look. Okay. All right. So
Love
let's
it.
go back into state. So Libby, I took the liberty. and I say that all the time. I took the liberty of starting this because I thought it might make sense for as a good first use of our time to go into to build this for you. Okay. So I just went into create a new household and I filled this out because I knew you were coming. And actually, you're a prospect. You're not really a client yet. But you told me, Libby, that you're 44, and Dwayne, I just assumed he's 55. I can't believe you're dating Dwayne Johnson of all
No,
people.
so
That's what a
lucky, right?
small world. Gosh. All right. That's
We have
fantastic.
complex financial needs. There's no prenup, by the way.
It's true. Oh, no prenup. That
No
was very
prenup.
smart of you. So no certified divorce fan specialist here. Okay.
That's right.
Love it. Um, okay, boy, he's really in for a windfall, by the way, with you. So, but let's talk about that. So, who else is in your family? When we think about your financial household, who else do we care about?
Okay, we've got my son,
Okay, great. What's his name?
Cameron
Cameron. Okay. What's his last name?
Greiwe.
Okay. Oh, we're going to use real people. Okay. What's his
We're
age and
using him,
everything?
and he is 18.
Okay, 18, boy. All right. He's your son, right? He's your
Yep.
child. Okay. Anybody else?
Yep. Dwayne has a daughter.
Oh, what's her name?
Her name is Beth.
Beth
hmm
Johnson.
Johnson, and she
Okay.
is 11.
So she's not taking your name then.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay, got it. Okay, she's a daughter, she's a child. Okay, great. Anyone else who's financially interdependent on you or with you? If you
Dwayne's
don't know what that means,
mom.
you're happy to ask a question.
Yeah, Dwayne's mom.
Okay, why Dwayne's mom?
Yeah,
What's her name?
she invested everything in his career early on, and just it's someone that he wants to make sure that he takes care of.
What's her name? Do you remember?
Millie.
Millie also.
Mhm.
Millie
Yes,
Johnson?
Millie Johnson.
Would
Yes,
she tell you her age in real life?
she is 80.
She's 80. Okay,
Yep,
got
she's
it.
80.
Oops, I can't see what that says. 80. Okay, great. All right, so that wasn't so bad. Are there anyone else, maybe pets in your, I don't know, pets, businesses, entities, trusts, anything else that is legally can control or own instruments of finance?
Do you want me to have a business? Does that make it
Well,
easier?
I don't know. I don't know. Are you an
Okay,
entrepreneur?
I do.
Depends. I can always, we can come back to it.
I do have a business. It's called
Okay.
the Efficient Advisor.
Oh, how funny. That's really
Yes,
strange.
yes.
Now you're gonna have to tell us the finances. Efficient advisor. Is that an LLC or is that was
It's an LLC as an S corp.
Oh, okay, got it. All right,
Mhm.
fantastic. I'm going to keep it as an LLC, but that's
Great.
fine. Okay, great. All right, that's good. Is that good enough for now?
Perfect.
All right, awesome. All right, so let's add your household. Now, here's for those of you paying attention. I know you're all paying attention right now. Watch this power up. Okay, I'm going to go into full screen mode because I just said that. I have these icons, by the way, set for. I like these zero heads. There's actually something really cool that's about to come out. I'm not going to tell you what's coming out, but I'm super fired up.
You can't
But
just dangle that kind of
I'm
carrot.
going to do it because I realized as I
Rude.
said it, my product team is going to kill me if I promise it. And they're going to be like, when is that coming out? And I'm going to be like, okay, I don't know. But they told me today it's coming out. So I'm super fired up. Anyway, but the point is to go, well, now what, right? Okay, so let's not start from scratch. So many of you know that we have stencils. Now, stencils is like an overlay, right? Like if you look at that background in Libby's office, right? That's like probably like a wallpaper, right? Well, there's a consistency to it. So watch what I'm doing here. So I opened up the right sidebar to stencils. And let's assume you're relatively new. You're not going to have any stencils already saved. So I'm going to go to the public library. And what the public library is going to show me is nothing because someone turned off my public library. That's pretty funny. Nothing like live production. That can't happen today, is that? Is that true? Maybe somebody turned off my library. Oh, there it is. All right. All right. Well, so there's a couple of things you might notice here. So I know that Libby is in this age range, right? Between her and Dwayne, right? And so we created a bunch of templates that are the kinds of things that people like you are thinking about at this point in time. Instead of me going into a typical fact find and say, tell me about your assets and so forth, it's easier to do this. And watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose the traditional fact finder, and I'm going to literally apply this stencil to the asset map. Okay. And what's going to happen is it's literally pre-building this asset map. So we have a live Lego project. Okay. Now you might notice there's a lots of what we call silhouette boxes or placeholders that exist here based upon $1, right? So if you were to zoom in here, you would understand that that says employment at employer for $1, right? Can you read that by the way, Louis?
Yes.
Got it. So I just want to get a high level understanding of all the things you're already dealing with so we can figure out again how to continue the conversation. This will give us a great starting point for you and Dwayne to understand what you've already done and how I can help with the inventory and bring some ideas to the table. Okay. So let's take a couple minutes to do this. So, Libby, are you currently employed right now?
Yes.
Is that income W-2 or 1099?
It is, let's say, let's call it W-2.
Okay, great. Fantastic. So, and what do you call this? What is this employment called? Do you have a role? Are you the president? Are you like the chief pool
Founder.
person? Oh,
Yep,
you're
we'll
the
go
founder.
founder.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
What's the source of this business? What is it called? Is this the fishing advisor?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to call it T. Can
Great.
I do that? I'm shortcutting. And approximately now here's the $24 million question. Approximately how much income do you make per year?
Let's go with $1 million.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Great. And so you're currently actively at that job, is right? Okay,
Hmm.
great. All right, good enough. Okay, you might notice that just got created. All right. The first Lego project down. Great. Do you have any other sources of income, Libby?
I have rental property.
Oh, you do. Okay, great. We'll look at that. There it is, rental property. This is just for you. Does anybody else own this?
Nope, just me.
Okay, great. What do you call this? Rental properties, or does that have a name or something?
College rentals.
Oh, college rentals. And is that in any kind of like, what's the source of that? Do you call it is it an address? Is it multiple properties? Is it in a business?
It's in its own LLC.
Oh, another LLC.
Yep.
Okay. Got it. So we'll call that real estate LLC. And approximately how much annual income are you taking from this?
$50,000.
$50,000. Great. Awesome. And how long do you think you might continue to do that?
Probably another 7 years.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Got it. So 53. Why 7 years, by the way?
Just to get my kids through college. If they want to go to that university, they can use the
Mm,
housing.
interesting. Okay. Got it. So that's a nuance that she just gave me. So I might say that intended for college. Okay. I'm not going to worry about spelling today because we're trying to blast through this. Okay, great. Have you thought, or do you have any sort of income in the future that I need to think about, like Social Security? Do you think it's going to be there?
We don't even need to include it. If I get it,
Okay,
great.
fantastic. And what about any other pensions or any other sources of income that I need to know about?
None.
Okay. By the way, I hope you noticed we have expected pension in this stencil, current income, other income, and then Social Security. Most people do include Social Security. Okay, great. Let's talk about assets for you, Libby. I'm just going to click on this. Do you have an active retirement plan?
I do.
What is it called?
It's a 401k through Empower.
Okay, thank you. You already see the pattern. How much capital are you keeping at Empower?
It has $850,000 in it.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Are you contributing to that on an ongoing basis?
Yes, I'm putting in $55,000 a year.
Fantastic. So you're maxing out this plan. Is this a part of an employer? Because you said you're W-2, so this is your employer plan?
Yes, yes.
Fantastic. Awesome. Oh, I noticed you're the founder, by the way. How many employees do you have? That's got to be a lot of work.
Three.
You have three employees.
Mm.
Fantastic. Okay. By the way, I don't know if you every question I'm asking is a future thing, that opportunity that I want to bring up. Okay. Because I want to manage the 401k too, by the way, just so you know. Eventually, I'll ask you for it.
Great.
Okay. Fantastic. When was the last time you checked the beneficiaries of your 401k, by the way?
Probably when Dwayne and I got married 2 years ago.
Okay, so you did update it for Dwayne.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to do this quickly. Sometimes I get deep on this stuff. I start asking all kinds of questions. Like,
Sure.
when was the last time you checked the allocation? When's the last time? How is it performing? Are you happy with the fees? What's going on there? I choose opportunistically to ask questions when I think there's openness to it. Do you have any inactive 401ks, 401ks you've left at old employers? Typically, I see this a lot.
Like old IRAs.
Okay. Do you have IRAs?
I do.
Okay, great. Tell me about that.
I have an old IRA from a previous employer at Schwab.
Oh, okay. You left it at the old employer. Okay.
Hmm. Well, from an
Okay.
old employer. I rolled it over. It's in an IRA.
Okay, got it. I love to use your names, by the way. Old IRA rollover, okay? Because then it'll be familiar to you. How much value do you keep there?
550,000.
Okay, great. Why did you choose to leave that there, by the way?
I don't know. Honestly, I just kind of forgot about it and I haven't done
Mm,
much with it.
got it. Do you have any other sorts of annuities or other brokerage accounts in your name alone?
I do. I have an annuity at Thrivent.
Okay, got it. We're getting there. All right. This is now, is this annuity inside of a retirement plan or a
No,
non-retirement? Do you know the difference?
I do.
Okay, fantastic. So it's what we call a non-qualified annuity. Oops, non-qualified annuity. And you said it's at Thrivent.
Hmm.
How much value do you keep in that annuity?
It has about $33,000.
Fantastic. Why did you choose to buy an annuity?
It has some sort of living withdrawal benefit rider on it that I get
Oh.
at some point that I could put more money into it. I don't really remember.
Do you know the details of that stuff, or is that something we should probably look into?
It's something we should probably look into. I know they
Got it.
gave me illustrations and estimations for what it might look like at retirement.
Okay, so I want to come back to this. I probably want to include it on the asset map as actually having an income source that you can do that. Okay. And you mentioned that you also have a brokerage account?
Dwayne does.
Oh, Dwayne has a brokerage account. I'm going to put
Yes.
that on his side so you can see that his branch has that. Okay. What does he call that account? Do you know what he calls it?
Fun money.
Fun money. Funny money brokerage. Where does he keep that?
It's at E-Trade.
E-Trade. Okay, got it. What are we talking about?
It has about $7 million. dollars.
Okay, so he's doing well with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. Fantastic. And all right, great. Any other instruments that I should know about?
I have a Roth IRA.
Okay, great. Tell me all about it.
It's at Fidelity.
Watch what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to clone this because I don't feel like typing again. I went to her IRA and I'm going to clone it. And what's going to happen is that then I can just write over it. This is the fastest way to do this. So Roth IRA, Fidelity,
And it's
and
got
what, how much about
310.
310. So how did you get $310,000 into a Roth IRA, Libby?
So I had an old 401k that was a Roth 401k, and then I did
Hmm.
some conversions.
Converted. So did you take the tax hit in that 1 year? Did you like that product? Are you happy with the outcome of that?
I did it over a 5-year period,
Mm.
and yeah, I like having some tax-free money.
Awesome. Great call. All right, fantastic. Do you have any other assets in your name alone, like cash or banking or brokerage accounts, crypto accounts?
Um, Not in my name alone.
Okay. How about permanent life insurance, cash value, or any other debt that I should know about?
So I have a life insurance policy that my grandma bought for me when I was a
Mm.
baby.
Do you know anything about that policy? Is it any familiar names like whole life,
It's a
variable
whole
life?
life.
Whole life. Okay, got it. I've heard of
Yes.
that.
And it's
And what?
paid up. I know it's a paid up whole life.
Okay. Who's the carrier?
Northwestern Mutual.
Northwestern Mutual. Okay, great. Do you know what the death benefit would be on that?
It's like $23,000.
Got it. Does this have cash value in it?
It does. It's about $16,000 of cash value.
Got it. Thank you very much. Awesome. And that's a whole life. So the surrender value is the cash value. And I can put any kind of details I want in here, but notice what I just did is I actually put this in the cash value. It instantly shows up as a life insurance policy as well. So the system knows that for those of you thinking about it. And do you have any personal debt, Libby?
I
Credit
have a
card or otherwise?
mortgage.
A
I have a
mortgage.
mortgage.
Got it. So that means you own a home.
Yes.
Got it. Tell me about your home.
So we have the home that Dwayne and I share together in
Hmm.
Ohio
Ohio.
is, yep, value is about 2 million.
Okay.
And we still have a $1.3 million mortgage.
Who is the ownership of this? Is it you equally?
Me and Dwayne, yes.
Okay, got it. Notice how all the standards and defaults are the most common, so you don't have to do a lot of work here. So you have a mortgage. Who is that mortgage with, by the way?
It's with Fifth Third Bank, which is a local
Yeah.
bank.
I love this. Fifth Third. I never know how to spell this. Fifth
The
Third,
worst name
1.3
ever.
million. That's what I heard. And give me an idea, what kind of mortgage is it? Is it a term of years? Is it
Yeah, it's a 30-year fixed.
got it? And do you remember the rate at all?
It is 6.2%.
Ouch. Okay. Got it. All right. Thank you. All right. So I just added that information there. You might see this come together as well. Okay. You told me a couple things here. Let me just kind of zoom out here. Um, are there any other joint assets or joint investments that the two of you had? Any kind of brokerage accounts, cash accounts, banking, emergency reserves, anything
We
you've done together?
we have a joint life policy that's in an islet.
Okay, joint life policy. Interesting.
And we have a donor advised fund.
Okay, great. I think I'll do the who owns the donor advised fund or who controls the donor advised fund.
It's owned by I think it's owned by a bank.
Okay.
Does
But
that make
who's
sense
the
to you?
grantor? Who is like the original grantor who has control over the distributions of the DAF?
Me.
Okay, you do. Okay, I'm going to put it on your side because I tend to like control will align with the branch that you have. So I'm going to put this in as a brokerage account
Okay.
and I'm going to say that Libby controls it, but effectively this is a DAF. What's the institution?
CFS.
CFS. Great. Approximately how much value is in this DAF?
It has about $100,000.
Got it. And what was the purpose of using this DAF fund?
Just to create a generosity fund that would live in perpetuity beyond me.
Hmm, that's beautiful. Got it. If I can show you other strategies that have charitable impact, is that something you want to know about?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'd
Okay,
be wide open to
fantastic.
that.
All right, got it. I just hope you heard that. I just cataloged that. And talk to me about Dwayne for a second. What I tend to choose to, by the way, is when somebody has a significant amount of financial instruments and I don't know anything about the other person, I'll tend to isolate them.
Okay.
And I isolated them by basically turning Libby off here and say, if Dwayne's in the room, I say, Dwayne, bring me up to speed on what you're doing. Is Dwayne employed, by the way, Libby?
No,
He's
no,
not. Okay.
no,
You
he's
sure you
not
didn't do that
employed.
with your prenup? Okay. So he has no sources of income at this point. Are we saying no pensions?
No,
No.
no, not
Okay.
right now. Yep.
He puts that great social media out that he's like the highest paid wrestler and the okay, I
Yeah,
won't talk
yeah,
about
he's
that.
just focused on being a really good husband right now.
I love it. Great.
Yeah.
He's a stay-at-home dad.
Yes.
Does he have any other qualified assets or retirement assets in his name alone?
No,
No,
he
you're
has
trying to make
nothing.
it easy, aren't
Yeah,
you? Okay.
he's been really bad with his money.
Got it. Okay, interesting. So you're setting me up to try to manage his fund money. This is like his fund money, his only asset, and you want me to try to convince you that I should
That's right.
manage this?
That's right.
Good luck. Okay. Fantastic. Why don't we just put it all in crypto and say the guy loves Bitcoin? I'm really
Great
forget
idea.
it. Okay. And now I know where this conversation is going. Okay. So typically, right, for all of you normal people out there, you're going to probably see a lot more complexity, right? People are going to have cash accounts. They're going to have multiple bank accounts, brokerage. They're going to have annuities that their cousin sold them 100 years ago. They don't remember why they bought it, right? The key is in this process is to really just take everything from the financial closet, throw it on the bed, and sort through it in a way that allows me to pick it up and say, hey, Libby, is this really fit? Like, come on, should we have $7 million in three stocks? Like, I
Right.
want to get to the place where I can call people out and say, listen, honestly, like this is really what you should be doing. So that's really I have found the most kind of honest, intimate way to go about this is not to make people feel bad, but this we can all see it, right? I can't ignore it. You got $7 million in one single account and no other stuff. So does he have any personal lines of insurance, Libby?
He
Life?
does.
Oh, he
He does.
does. What does he
Yeah.
carry?
He has a term life insurance.
Okay, I've heard of that before. Tell me what do you call this term life insurance? Is it
I think it's a 10-year term.
okay? 10-year term. Okay, great. What carrier? Do you remember the carrier you're paying the premium to?
It's from Primerica.
Primerica. Okay, great. And what kind of value in terms of death benefit is this going to provide you?
It has $1 million.
Okay. What is the purpose of buying this $1 million coverage, by the way?
When Dwayne got it originally, it was
Hmm.
to make sure that his daughter had everything that she needed should something happen to him.
Is she the primary beneficiary?
She is.
Beth is. Okay, so the minor is the beneficiary. Do you know if Dwayne has done his wills?
Yes, he has done some estate planning.
He has done. Okay, great. So
Yeah,
we'll get to that at some point. Hopefully, we'll get to it today. Um, Fantastic. And how many more years do we have left on this product? Do we know?
8.
Okay, so 8 years remaining. That I'm just going to put in my notes. Okay, fantastic. By the way, I'm asking you about term insurance for Dwayne. Do you have any permanent or term life insurance besides what you told me about?
No, just the one
You
for
don't.
my grandma.
Okay, but you did mention that you have some
The
permanent life
eyelet.
insurance and an islet. Now,
Yes.
that's an important aspect here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another entity. Okay. I'm going to add an irrevocable trust to this. What do you call that trust? Does it have a name? Like when you
We just
refer to
call
it?
it the eyelet.
Okay, the islet. That sounds like a wrestling name. Like the islet enters the stage. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so this is an islet for the two of you.
Yes.
I'll put you as linked members, and I'm not going to enter any of this stuff. The cool thing about for AssetMap, we didn't make anything mandatory except those first core things. So if you feel like just moving past it, just move past it. The reason I did this and created, what don't you like? Oh, I did it. Good. There it is. There's the eyelet up there if anybody sees it. Okay. There's the eyelet. Now the eyelet can own, benefit, or control any financial instrument in AssetMap now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add an insurance policy. Okay. You said it is, what kind of is it whole life universal variable? Do you know the answer to this?
Universal.
It's universal life. Okay, got it. So this is you called it survivorship?
Hmm.
Survivorship life. Okay, what do you remember what the carrier is?
I don't know. I'll have to look.
Okay. That's okay. Perfect. So we don't know. Something for us to work on together. How much death benefit is there? Do you remember?
2 million.
2 million. What was the purpose of this $2 million policy?
I don't really remember. I know the advisor talked about something about crummy letters and moving money out of our estate and making
Got it.
sure our kids got money tax free.
Awesome. Do you have any idea what the kind of cash value is in this policy?
I think it's around $100,000.
Okay, 100,000. Thank you. And do you have any idea what you're paying for this thing per year?
We pay $16,000 a year.
Okay, got it. Plan premium, $16,000. And for those of you that are listening here, sometimes this, a lot of clients don't know this stuff, surprisingly. And I'm going to basically set up that the primary beneficiary is the eyelet. So that makes sense in all of the math and kind of calculations. Of course, I need this for myself. I don't need a contingent beneficiary. You can see a bunch of the information here. This will be able to track conversions if you're trying to deal with term insurance. Again, it's all about data in, data out. Like, what are you trying to do? I tend to go really light for a first conversation so that we can make sure we get through it. This is estate planning purposes. Estate
Adam,
planning.
Ben dropped a question.
Okay, what do you got?
He said, so how would you capture my income if I have a W-2 salary from the company? Let's say he put, like, let's say the W-2 from her company was 125 a year and the rest of her income from the company is treated as a distribution.
How would okay, I have to think about that first. I wasn't prepared for that complicated question. Okay, so Libby, say that. Oh, wait, I can see it. How would you capture her income if she said her salary, W-2, was 125 and the rest of the income is treated as a distribution? That's a great question. Some advisors, let me just look at Libby for a second so I can make sure. So let's say she had, honestly, this super easy. Watch. I'm gonna clone this because I'm lazy and I'm just gonna clone her $1 million income. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a distribution, right? So I might be inclined to either put this in as 1099 or I can put it in actually as a distribution, right? Depends on how you want to characterize it. It's not super important for purposes of tax because Asset Map gives you the flexibility to just, add whatever tax override to anything. So some of you like the word distribution because you understand what that means in different contexts. So I'd encourage you to say, okay, so this will be founder distribution, okay?
Yeah, Ben called me out on making it too easy on you since I have an S corp.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, but you'll have to use your imagination, right? She only might get that to 65 or this. So the key is to try to just get it down on paper. And then there you have it then, right? So there's her founder income. I kept it at 1 million for purposes of today. And then there you go. There's a distribution of 50 grand. And depends on how I want to talk about this. You can see that she's got 1,000,001. Hopefully some of you are saying to yourself, wait a minute, Libby, you didn't say something. You said you have rental real estate. So where is do you own this real estate? Like help me understand that.
Mhm.
And then you're going to tell me a story. You're going to tell me a story about this real estate. And I'm going to ask you, well, why did you buy real estate? And you're going to tell me what you thought was in it for you. And you got told it's the depreciation. You saw this great like social media ad. And you thought if you bought some rental properties, you can take the advanced depreciation up front, right? Like, you know what I'm talking about, everybody, right? And so you did it. And I want to understand the story because I really want to understand the reasoning for why. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, great. All right. So do you
Wait,
think that,
so one
yeah,
more
please.
thing. Robert says,
Okay.
wow, your client seems to know a lot of information about her financial closet. Where
Yeah,
if the client doesn't know as much
for
information
sure.
or hasn't given you the documents, do you just come back? Or, and I like this part, can you bookmark where you have missing information so that you know where to
Absolutely.
come back? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great point. So there's a couple ways to do that. One is you see all these placeholders I've left on here. When I really don't know a lot of information, I leave them on here. I know it looks cluttered, but I leave them on here. Or I selectively go into this tool up here. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going into this select tool and I'm going to actually select multiple things that I want to get rid of. So let's say I know she doesn't have this stuff. I know she's not, but I know she said she probably has some group disability, or I want to bring it up next time, or he was concerned about long-term care. I'm going to leave that on there. And I'm really surprised he doesn't have this. They probably have cash and banking. She just didn't tell me. I might leave it on there, and I'll leave it on there for the duration as if there's this $1 thing they forgot to tell me. Okay. So watch what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to actually delete these. Okay. Delete. Yes. Delete those. And what's going to happen is it's going to leave me with a kind of scaffolded map. Did I hit yes? I did. Didn't I hit yes? Okay. This is probably thinking about it. So this scaffolded map, I want to leave there because it's going to force me to have this conversation the next time I get together when I'm reviewing their asset map. Remember what I said is I review the asset map in the first 10 minutes of every single meeting with every single client to make sure that you and I are on the same page. I do not want to be surprised, which is why it makes sense and in your best interest, client, to help me understand that we are really talking about the same things. I don't, right? I can't give you advice and then find out you're like, oh yeah, by the way, I got $10 million in income this year and I forgot to tell you. Like, what? So so it's in the client's best interest, right, to reveal this to make sure the map is accurate. Plus, I'm going to give them a copy, and they're going to want to take it home and put it in the special drawer, or give it to their spouse, and say, "See, I did something," or put it in their fridge, right, and say, "Like, here's where our stuff is." Okay, however they handle it, it's a strange thing. We see this again and again. Clients want their asset map to be accurate. Okay, so you want them to reveal as much as possible. But I know even sometimes they probably have some joint investments somewhere for at least $1. And it's an intentional reason why it says $1 because $1 is not insulting. If I put zero, that would be insulting. Okay. If I put 100 grand and you had more or less than that, that would be a problem. So we choose, well, I figure you have $1 or something, right? So that's why we use $1 and it works. So you could change it if you want. You could make this stencil look like any, you could build your own stencil, Libby, right? Like everybody should understand, I'm showing you the basic template. If you want to use completely different language for your asset map, you can design your own, save it as a stencil, and then reuse it like a stamp. Okay. So anyway, the point is that we've gotten to this point. I hope for those of you that are experienced advisors, maybe even CFPs or with advanced degrees, you're already starting to see some challenges here. Okay. I tend to think about it. What's the legal, the tax, the insurance, and the investment implications of the decisions they've made? Those are four frames. We tend to teach it at Asset Map. And it's each of us right now put on our legal goggles and say, like, okay, what's going on here? Over
Okay.
time, yeah, please.
Okay, we got a question from Liz.
Oh, okay, fine, Liz.
So we're building your asset map here kind
Mhm.
of from stencils, or you can do it from scratch. Can you automatically build it from an integration with
Hmm.
eMoney?
Yeah, we could have just pushed eMoney right to Asimov. I could have
Very
pulled the
cool.
entire thing from eMoney, but that would have been boring. It would have been like a 2-minute webinar. It's funny. I mean, look, the key is to show up, I think, at the meeting. If you do know the data already and it's an eMoney, don't make them go through this. Half of them are gonna be like rolling their eyes, like you know the answer to that. So then show up with the asset map already built, and then say, hey, let's just go through it. Okay, let me go
Mhm.
there. I currently have you as the founder of TEA, right? The efficient advisor making $1 million. That's still accurate, Libby? And Libby says
Yes.
to me, oh, actually, no, I actually am doing really well this year. I'm going to do like 1 million too. Okay, great. 1.2, enter, done. Okay. Now, granted, unfortunately, we can't push back to eMoney yet. But if you are using Jump or any of the other kind of tools, um, you can actually integrate those also. So the coolest, I think, about the AI integrations with Jump, and there's a bunch coming. I know that Quinn is like you like Quinn a lot. That's already in production. So we're going to see that soon. Updates here are going to, if you use some of these AI tools, you're going to see these things basically just update everything.
Okay. Do you
Interesting.
integrate with Right Capital? Paul wants to
We
know.
don't integrate with Right Capital, but that's not because of us.
Okay. And then another question is,
Yeah.
so is this what we're doing, you and I are doing together here, typically meeting number two, or are most advisors jumping in right away and asking all of the data?
Yeah, no, this is meeting
Typically,
one.
this is meeting one. So he
Yeah,
says,
we're meeting
or
one.
he or she says, I typically try to learn more about why they are here and if they're a good fit
Mhm.
before jumping into fact finding.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Everybody has their own kind of approach on this one. If you're more want to lead with if you more want to lead with relationship, let me talk about my firm, tell me about what you care about. I want to do more of a yellow pad type of experience, like we're taking notes, it's much more intimate. Totally cool. I think that it has to match your style. After that experience, whether it was that happened on the phone or that happened in person or via web, I personally tend to make meetings much more efficient. Like let's get to clarity on whether we're going to invest in each other or not. And I need to kind of understand what we're dealing with complexity wise to know whether it's worth my time. But that when I got to the point where, as you understand, Libby, like importantly, like I was very specific about the client that I wanted to get to, having created, a practice of over $1 billion of AUM, then I was like, okay, I only want to work with X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to feed the rest of my people if it's not a right fit. But I would meet with anybody who was referred, right?
Yeah.
To give them,
So
that
for
was just my approach.
Yeah, so it was an anonymous question. So for whoever asked that, for me, this probably would have showed up in the second meeting
Hmm.
where I was maybe a little bit more B-fi, touchy-feely in that
For
first
sure.
meeting, figured out if we were a good fit, maybe threw out the price of what our planning program would
Yeah.
cost
Yeah, for sure.
as a delineator, right? And then this might have showed up as a second meeting. So like Adam said, I think it just shows up wherever in your process you start collecting data.
Absolutely. I wanted to touch on a couple other things that you guys want to play with that you have access to this now. So there's no matter whether you do this first, second, or third meeting, you got to go at your own pace. It's got to be uniquely and authentically you, right? We all know that. Otherwise, it's going to just feel disingenuous. If you typically do, excuse me, planning, and this would have been your second meeting, your fact-finding meeting, if I had already built rapport up front, Libby, I would have, and I don't have the data in eMoney or Money Guide or one of those other tools or one of the other 20 companies we integrate with, I would have sent them a discovery link. And this is something you want to play with. I'm going to come out of full screen mode and I'm going to go to my face over here. You're going to see discovery. So if you click on discovery, this is your own. I could initiate an interview with Libby right now. Libby and let's see, Libby and Dwayne, or whatever, however you spell his name, Dwayne. Okay. And I could just send them this link right now. And this is what Libby's going to get. Libby's going to get an email when she opens it, and it's going to say, welcome. Okay. Start now. Do everything that we just did in an interview. And it's going to interview her on her phone. I said, take 15 minutes. Just tell me what you got. Okay. An IRA, Schwab, what I think she said, a Fidelity, whatever she said, home worth of $2 million. She's going to do that from the top of her head. And when she walks in for meeting number two, I'm going to have not this one. I can't see because the Zoom thing is blocking everything I'm looking at here. Um, sorry, I'm going to try to go back. I can't go back. Let me look it up. Gry. There we are. So what I was saying is that when she walks in the room, I'm going to already have this on screen, as if I had eMoney in the background already pre-populate this. Now I'm going to get to be able to talk deeper about why have you done this? Have you thought about this? What's going on here? Tell me about the kids. And I could just keep this on the screen and talk about it. Where you want to go from here though is, you want to have an opportunity to say, okay, tell me what the kids are doing, right? Have you put
Mhm,
money in the kid's name yet? You said you want to do estate planning. Is that important to you? Tell me about Millie. What's going on with her? What's her finances generally? Tell me about the islet. Like what's in the islet over here, right? Oh, you told me the islet has this survivorship cash value as an asset in it. Do you follow? You're
mhm,
trying to round the picture out as much as you're comfortable going. And then you want to jump into those three modules I talked about. All right. So this week, when you're playing around with Asset Map or doing this on yourself or sending, I would really recommend everybody just send the discovery link to your partner in life. Like the person who's not the financial person in your household. Send
mhm.
it to them and say, do me a favor, I'm testing this thing out. Just do it. Right. They're going to give you hopefully feedback and hope maybe they'll do it. Right? Maybe they won't do it. Someone who will do what you ask them to do, okay? And then get the feedback and then see what they wrote down and see what they built out and then show them the results. Because where you want to go, Libby, with this is you want to go into priorities. And the easier way for all of you to do it, since we're building this together, is to go into the priorities module. I think this is one of the most underused power ups in Asset Map. What it allows you to do is basically you could put this on screen if you want, is saying what of these things are important to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You already told me that contributing to charity, you already told me you're doing some estate planning. I already know minimizing taxes is going to be important. I love pre-populating stuff for people because I want to have something to talk about. Let's see. I know wedding is off the table now. How about philanthropy? You said that already. Anything else here that's important to you, Libby, that you want to make sure that we prioritize? Managing debt, growing a business.
Yeah, probably some more insurance coverage.
Okay, insurance. So I'm going to go back to this. There's too much list here. I got to go to and you can do custom ones if you want, but let's see. These are the most common.
I saw it on the
Which one is this?
go
I
back
can't
to
see it.
all. Go back to all.
Go back to all. See, it's
And
funny
then it
because
was third column, third one down.
just type it. I guess I could just
Okay,
type
there
it.
you
Okay. And then the module I like to do, everybody here is, okay, contributing to charity is important to you, Libby. Is it normal or high?
High,
Okay, it's normal, high. Great. Is providing legacy normal or high?
normal,
Normal, great. Is minimizing taxes normal or a high priority for you?
high,
Okay, great. And is philanthropy normal or high?
very high for Dwayne.
Very high. Okay, it's going to go to the top. And insurance coverage, normal or high for you?
Normal,
Normal. Okay, great. Is philanthropy more important or less important than minimizing taxes?
more important,
Okay, is minimizing taxes more important or less important than contributing to charity?
more important.
Okay, got it. So you see what I just did there?
Hmm.
Make binary decisions, yes or no, yes or no. And so can I say at the end of this process, Libby, is this accurately reflect yours and Dwayne's priorities for our work together?
Yes.
Okay. Dwayne might come back and say, no, you missed something, in which that's great. We want to hear that. Dwayne, what would you change? Now let's debate. Let's negotiate. Because now everything I recommend is going to be tied to how they answered this. Do you understand? If I can
Yeah.
show you how to get what you want by doing what I tell you to do, it's a win. Okay. So whether it's all making hard decisions like giving money to charity or what it might be, the key is that you want to do that. All right. I know we're running short on time because I talk too much and you ask too many questions, everybody. It's all your fault. So,
Speaking of which, we do have another question when you
oh,
have.
what is that?
Okay, it says we integrate with Redtail. Is there a way to adjust the data that Asset Map pulls specifically from accounts?
I don't know what that means, but I know that Redtail has a unique ability to bring people and finances from Redtail. But I don't know if that means you can hide things in Asset Map and say, you can basically say, I never want to see that account again. And you can hide it even though it's actively pulling from Redtail. So that's an option.
Okay. And then Joel asks, how accurate has Jump been in filling this in post meeting?
It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's pretty scary good. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty nuanced about how I want to name things. So I'm
Mhm.
happy that Jump will basically just pick up stuff. I tend to add things as you see during the meeting. So I don't wait for Jump at the end. It's ironic that we built it, Jump actually built this to us intentionally to build the full asset map from a Jump meeting. But the irony is that most of the asset map users who use Jump build the asset map live in the meeting anyway, like I'm doing. And then they use Jump to summarize it and give us all the funders because it will pull from asset map and say like, where are there opportunities and what do you want to look at? And like, how do I prep for my next meeting? So it turns out 98% of people using Jump and asset map together are using it to summarize the asset map and then come up with questions to ask,
Oh, okay.
not the opposite, which is what we thought. And so that was kind of cool. Play with these other options on signals. This is like the conversation starter that nobody wants to talk about, but it's easier to kind of play it off on the asset map and say, hey, look, the system is coming up as red in these areas. It's probably areas, it's like tire pressure is low. I don't know if it's true. We should probably check it out. Okay. So that's something you really want to play with. There's a lot of language around this, and you can snooze them if it bothers you. But target maps is a whole life of its own. It's basically 30-second financial planning. It's intended to be kind of just tell me the bottom line and what we need to do about it. So there's entire modules that we have required training. You're going to want to watch this. There's no way we could do that today, but I want to impress upon you that literally you could start doing stuff like this really fast. You could do retirement planning, and it will run it based upon your all your presets, so that again, it's all templated. All you got to do is then just tweak it, and it's really effective at just getting to a conversation. And there you go. I have something to talk about. Instantly, I know we got some issues. based upon my normal standards. You're really underinsured. Making $1 million a year with kids and so forth. Like, come on. So the reality is that we know we need to address this.
Okay, awesome. Is there a Zox integration?
It's coming.
Okay. And then how do we share that link to prospects again?
Sure. What you're going to want to do here, let me move my Zoomy bar here. Go back to the head here, okay? And go to discovery. And discovery will take you to two options. If you want the outbound, that means I'm going to send it to a single person, you use this. If you're going to use the inbound, you use this one. So if you're going to send it to 1,000 people, you use this link, and that's your personalized link or your QR code if you want to put this on social or whatever you do. I tend to put this on a business cards and stuff like that. This is really effective. It'll just jump them right into discovery at scale. So it's a great way if you could do a webinar. Just throw this up on the screen. You'll get 10 people fill it out. It's pretty killer. Anyway, the key is to get them to do something and indicate what their priorities are out of the gate. I know we're over time. So anyway, you can
Great.
see it's capturing all this stuff in lead gen.
Okay, perfect. Any more
Yeah.
questions that you guys want to ask Adam before we let you go? I hope this was helpful for you to see kind of the tool and Adam, I really appreciated just kind of hearing your I know it was obviously very abbreviated,
Yeah, a
but
little
hearing
bit.
kind of your language. Typically, when you do so the first meeting with a brand new client, let's say
Hmm.
you're vibing, they're a good fit for you. How long are you allowing for an asset map building session?
It's funny. It's been some years, right? The clients I deal with are pretty complicated, and so they're usually willing to send some information in advance, right? I tend to ask for that, as you know well, right? Ask for what you want. So I tell the clients, here's how I work. If you want to engage with me, I need you to send me something I can get my sink in my teeth into, think of before the meeting. Some people will send full network statements, in which case we will build the map. When they show up, their map's ready. It's up on the screen.
Okay.
Um, Otherwise, I probably have to spend an hour and a half building a map with them if I really want to do it right.
Hmm.
It depends on how ADD I want to be. If I'm going to go all over the place and I understand that they want to talk about a specific challenge, I might get micro focused on just a specific thing, like exiting a business or selling it to my son or dealing with some estate issue.
Hmm.
And I'll just focus on that. And then I'll come back over the years back to their asset map and acquire the other lines of business that I've left on the table. So I continually use it as a treasure map to re-engage. I don't try to always win everything up front. I try to win the loyalty and the heart early,
Yes.
on process and of course authenticity.
Okay, last question. Joel asks, do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Yes, of course I do. He is now a stay-at-home husband
Yeah.
whose sole responsibility is making me happy. So he cooks all day, every day. So I
What's
always
for
get to
dinner? What are
smell
we having tonight? Okay,
Rock
what do
is
you
cooking.
smell?
He is making steak. Hmm.
Oh, steak.
Yes, he's
Mm.
making steak for his muscles. Yes.
There you go. Fantastic. Well, enjoy your meal together. This has been fun to do this together, and I appreciate you making the time to do it, Libby. Always
Yeah,
fun.
well, thank you for making the time. Thank you for
Of
offering your
course.
first ever free trial for our
Yeah,
listeners. I
you
hope
guys are
people
lucky.
take advantage of this window, play around with the tool. And I
Yeah.
know what are the options for advisors to now like formally onboard and be trained by Asset Map?
I have no clue. Nobody told me
Great.
that before the meeting. So, look, I think the reality is that we're doing this. We've never really done a free trial before, ever. So, with thousands of advisors using it, you guys are in a unique situation. Thank you, Libby. I think this: use it, try it, don't let sit on it, and then as soon as you're ready, reach out to support@assetmap.com, and we'll do either a fuller demo or we'll give you training. We have a huge onboarding team. The phone calls are open. The phone actual human lines are covered 7 to 7 every weekday Eastern time. That's AM to PM. There's an enormous amount of support. So I would. Do you know how long the trial is, Libby? Nobody
I
told
believe
me.
it's 30 days. I
Oh,
believe
it's
it's
30 days.
30
Okay, so you have time. Just don't be slow at it. Try and play with it. Do this on yourself. Do this with your family. Do this with your top client, and experiment. Right? You'll see it once you show it to a client. It'll become obvious.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I think it's really cool. It's one of those tools that when
Yeah.
people ask me, if you were still practicing today, what would you be using? And Asset Map is at the top of my list always because it's just
Cool.
so visual
Visual.
and
I like it.
malleable combined together.
Oh,
Visual.
that's great.
Yes.
Mashup word.
Yes. I love how malleable it is and how you can
Yeah.
change titles and modify and really embrace, like make it your own, use your own language, use your client's language. I love everything about it. So
Thank
it's a
you.
fabulous
Cool.
tool.
I appreciate that. It's a lot of thought went into it. Thank you, everybody, for your patience and for sticking around. And of course, Libby, we appreciate everything you do for the community and our industry. Love it. And everybody, keep doing great work. We hope to see
Thank
you and
you.
talk to you soon.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everyone.